The Internet's day-to-day functioning works well. And I'm the first to say, if it isn't broken, don't fix it.
The Internet has been running for the last few decades, and it has been running quite well.
When we started, in those days, the system was quite small and everybody knew each other. And if somebody had been attacking another system, they would have been found very quickly, because you know where the attack was coming from, and you call up the right person there and you say, please stop doing that.
What we see lately over the last years is that the impact, the commercial impact of the Internet is growing and growing, which means that a lot of people are getting on the Internet which might have not that good intentions. So we have to make sure that whoever and whatever gets on the Internet, actually we make sure that it keeps on working.
We need to fight against spam, identity theft, phishing and other evolving types of crime on the Internet.
It's possible for bad guys to insert the wrong answer, and in that process distract your machine to go off in some direction that it's not supposed to go. We're closing that door.
We have a system that is called DNSSEC that actually will prevent this sort of thing from happening, or from possible happening.
So what is the state of Internet security? There are pieces that are good and getting better, and there are pieces that are not so good. So we deal with a piece at a time, and each one is a big deal. In this case, we're adding security to the domain name system.
Security on the Internet is a big thing, and as an end user, you always have to make sure that you don't just trust anything that you get from anywhere. So if you get an email, please don't just click on the link, but see what's there and actually type it in your browser.
Well, I agree that end users should be careful, but I think it's basically the wrong approach, that people are people, that the challenge is how do we, as the system designers, build systems that are easy to use and are safe, and that should not be a trade-off that we present to the user.
A small business owner that actually wants to have a domain name that is as secure as possible should take a .eu domain name and should find a .eu registrar that actually allows to sign the domain name with the DNSSEC protocol.
So with respect to DNSSEC, we want it to be built in a way that is essentially invisible and works and protects the end user, and does not require the end user to have to think about it or to do anything special. It just is a safer environment.
Both the public and private sectors have a joint obligation to act, and that approach has to go hand in hand with ensuring the Internet itself is not vulnerable to any large-scale failure, whether as a result of an accident or a deliberate attack.
The question gets asked often and over again, how stable is the Internet? Could the Internet be taken down? Could the Internet all of a sudden go dark?
There is no way to kill the Internet just by one switch, because the Internet is just literally, if you look at the definition of Internet, it's an interconnection of networks. And actually the Internet is based on networks put in place by commercial and non-commercial parties. And it's always a part of the Internet that you are on, and then you hop to another network. So it's not just one entity that will be able to say, and now the Internet is gone. Luckily, I would say. So it's very important that the Internet keeps on running no matter what happens. And even we from EURID on the .eu level, we will make sure that whatever happens in parts of the world, that .eu keeps on working by putting name servers everywhere.
Quite a lot of money being spent on reacting to security incidents with computer emergency response teams, with law enforcement, with firewalls and intrusion detection devices and so forth. I'd like to see comparable money, wouldn't even take as much, put into improving the architecture of the system so that we don't need these things, so that there's just simply less crime, less penetration, and the systems are more robust.